Welcome, guys. We got a big series here. Chat's going to remind me of the seeds or ranks these players have, so I can toss it up on screen. But we should have a pretty fun series on our hands. We've got... Fire couldn't build the TC because of the boar. We've got Fire, longtime pro. Has been around a very, very long time. 10+ years. And he's the favorite here playing as the Saracens game number 1. And then we've got Masha, who's a Mexican player. And honestly, I didn't see too much about this individual until last year, maybe the year before. Now, maybe he's played under different names, but he certainly has risen up around 2200 elo. Does typically play more strategic, not as quick, not as aggressive. That can be really good in tournaments at times. Fire's kind of the same style, so I can't tell you if there's been a lot of preparation. I haven't interacted with him too much, but I have played him and I've been impressed. And of course, seen him around the field. Margugu in chat says Masha 3, Fire 2. All right. Look at that prediction from Margugu. I'm going to lean towards Fire, but in recent times, Fire has not necessarily been lighting it up in tournaments. So if there were a player of his rank with his much experience to maybe be able to upset, maybe it would be him. I'd love to be proven wrong. Map is Golden Hill. And so lots of gold and stone in the middle. And the players start with 2 sheep that they find on the crossing, so they'll be using them to scout their map. We added that because it's important to get some type of scouting. Fire's got his boar. He should have that. And I guess with Saracens, maybe he wants to go galleys here. And yeah, Margugu's right. Fire did get upset a lot recently. Lost to a player who's 2200 in a recent qualifier, so... could maybe be Masha's day. Could someone possibly pull up the challenge bracket and let me know what seeds they are? I think it's 101 against, like... I think Masha's just over 100 rank in this tournament, and Fire's around the 30 mark. It's on the challenge bracket, by the way, which is why no one knows where it is. I could link that for you. It's not linked on Liquipedia, unfortunately, so... Faraday says, T90, have you heard of the new Brazilian rising star Bauer? Some people say he will be better than Dogao in a couple of months. Okay, well, Faraday, I know you're Brazilian, and I know you know me. If I haven't heard of him yet, he's not going to be better than freaking Dogao in a couple months. Better than Dogao in a couple months? And no one knows... Dogao? The Dogao. I'm excited. I'm going to look into him now. Yeah, that's a really big hype message there, Faraday. Haven't heard too much about him, no. Better than Dogao? That's pretty nuts, though. I would be shocked. Does Dogao know about this? Hold on, let me take a picture of this. One sec. Let's make this interesting, because we've got a nice series here. I'm going to take a picture of this. He knows you, too. I know he does. And I'm going to text Dogao and say, care to comment. And Dogao's normally a pretty funny guy. That should give us something funny to laugh at later on. Okay. That's cool, though, man. I mean, there are a lot of young players who are getting better at the game, and they just need more experience. I have a theory on that, by the way. And I've run it by pros, and they tend to agree. So I think... that once you get to like 22 or 2300, elo is no longer a great determination factor of what type of beast you're going to be in tournaments. Then you need to play 2 to 3 years of tournaments, and then you find out kind of who you are. Because I say this because there's a lot of people who are very good on ladder, and then they don't play tournaments, and then when they do play tournaments, they struggle. And then there's a lot of players who barely play ladder. They're only 2200 or 2300, let's say, only. And then they play tournaments all the time, and they get some really good accomplishments. I really think at a certain point, you got to lose for like 2 to 3 years, get some experiences, and then you end up where you're at, you know? Sebastian's a great example of that. Sebastian, maybe it was like 4 or 5 years of tournaments, recent example. I could go down the list of others as well, but... Margugu says, I'm grabbing this experience right now. A lot of experience. We all are, Margugu. We all are, my friend. But no, seriously, Margugu, you know, like, Margugu is kind of like the Age of Empires community's little brother. Because everyone, like, all the top players like to make fun of him and make jokes. And Margugu can take it. And he could stay humble, right? So, but, like, all jokes aside, you're a good example of that. And still getting the experience under your belt. As long as Margugu doesn't run into Ozone in a qualifier for a tournament, I have confidence he's going to be okay. Miguel. Okay, hold on. Miguel's in chat. Miguel, did you hear the comment about the new young Brazilian player? Ozone's in chat too. He agrees. Miguel, you have to hear this. I want to know if you know about this guy. I still haven't texted Dogao. Hold on one sec. Miguel says that has to be a joke. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miguel. I agree. I'm still going to send it to Dogao before I forget. And these guys are about to contest on water here. Sorry, it's been a somewhat unprofessional intro to this game. But I like this every now and then. To have a little bit of fun, you know? And especially when it comes to Dogao. Dogao's a troller boy, so... Of course, I can't... It won't let me... My phone's being stupid. I guess I'll do it later. That's fine. Faraday says, it's a joke. Bauer is such a noob. I'll send the clip to Bauer. Dude, okay. If it's a joke, you use a kappa. I'm slow, man. That's what kappa's supposed to signify. 3 docks from fire. Faster firing galleys. I just wasted 3 minutes because of freaking Faraday. Only thing worse than Faraday is on Leke. Can't get much worse than him. We got galleys as well from Masha. And we've got 3 docks as well. Cheaper ships and more HP on the ships, so could end up being pretty good. It feels like fire. Did he research loom? Yeah, so fire, no loom, which is why he's up a Vil. That's basically the only difference here. I love the thinking from fire to build the outpost and the houses in the middle. And get town watch, because you need to have vision on if the opponent's going to be active in the middle. And also, if they were to sneak something to your base, it's less likely you get surprised with early town watch. Here comes Fire's galleys now. Agent Paladin, thanks for the prime. Makes me so happy to be casting a series like this where 95% of my chat are seeing a player for the very first time. It's so good for them, right? To get these opportunities, have a bunch of people be familiar with them. Like, casting Good Game the other day was crazy. So many people were all in on Good Game, and they had never heard of Good Game before just because of how crazy his strats were. I am too as well. That guy is so fun to watch. I'd love to hype this one up a little bit more, guys, but they've essentially gone for the same build, and Fire has just kind of outplayed him here. And I think as the underdog, that's not what you want. You don't want to have the same build order, the same strategy. You ideally want to have something that matches up nicely against him. And this is not the best start. Fire with 2 kills. And Fire's got to be really happy with this. Especially after some recent missteps in tournaments for Fire, right? Maybe some doubt could start to creep in if the performance isn't so good at the first game. But he's just dominating this one. He's going to kill the fish. Fire was once seen as the best water player in the world. This is back in 2015. And I think there hasn't been a Master of Islands in a very long time, but Fire is the most recent winner of that tournament. Again, though, that was like freaking 8 years ago. And Fire kills all the fish. So 5 fishing ships for him. Red. Not a great feeling. And so he is going to be trying to use 2 markets. Do you ever want to see an example of someone being under pressure at the moment? This would be it. He's making 2 markets because he thinks he needs a market, and I guess he forgot that he was building the first market. You can't trade with yourself, unfortunately. Oh, man. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. He's trying to go up to Castle Age, and he wants to go Organ Guns. I mean, what else are you going to do with Portuguese? When it's been a rough start, you built 2 markets. Organ Guns feels like a pretty good play. What are the seeds? I don't know. I still haven't had anybody tell me. I think it's... Masha's like 2150 elo, and Fire's like maybe 2500 elo. But seed in Fire's case might have been based on some tournament results as well. At least if Fire built 2 markets, it would be cheap. Yeah, so Fire's 27th seed. Thank you, Arbase. Arbase, could we add the challenge command to the Wandering Warriors Cup? Sorry, the challenge link. That would make way more sense, because then people in chat could actually access it. No one knows how to get it. There we go. So about like 80 difference between these two. But in Red's case, I can't say I've ever covered him in a tournament before. So there are some people who might be around the 102 mark who also have just played more tournaments and might have a little bit more experience there. Fire has stacked his galleys. There is a chance we could see a demo here. Now, Fire doesn't have a lot else to look at right now. Those demos need to pop. Oof. He did land. They're quite weak, but he would need another demo to hit. And Fire now knows about that his opponent's trying to come back onto water. And he's going to probably be just fine here. Archer range in the middle for Fire. Lots of vision there. And he's aiming to take this dock down before the next demo comes out, and he does. To have a chance here, you would need to have some land presence, or you'd need to have an advantage to Castle Age. He doesn't really have any of it. Because Fire, as well as he's played on water, he's played just as good on land. He still has the food income. He obviously still has the fish. He has the vision in the middle. Fire's just kind of played a perfect game. And there are situations where you can come back in games. But this doesn't really feel like one of them. Now, guys, here's the difference. Red would be fully justified in calling GG right now. And then earlier in the day, we had a player resign 7 minutes in because he forgot to build a lumber camp before Feudal Age. Extreme differences. Red says, I've still got a chance. Let's give it a shot. Let's play it out. I'm probably dead. And then other players resign because they can't build a lumber camp. Transport ship from Fire. Let's go. He'll transport ship some units around, and he sees the castle. So I have not seen Organ Guns versus Galleys that frequently. Nice demo there from Red. But I think the Galleys should probably be superior to the Organ Guns. You would need a lot of Organ Guns. And still need the second TC. Fire's dropping the second TC as well. It's probably over. But if you're a player, you want to play it out until you're sure it's over. And you might want... Like, maybe right now, Red's thinking is he just camps till Imp. And that he could win with Fatorias. Fire hasn't finished him off yet. Fire hasn't transported anything, gotten in here. I think the second Fire shows up with the Cav Archers. That's when Red's got some problems. Dude, this is hilarious. So Fire's like, at the very least, let's take out his market. Because then he can't use that. But Red is such a god. He already built the other market. This is why you build 2 markets. Fire thinks he's got him right where he wants him, but no. It's a decoy. There's the Organ. Organ's also sitting in front of the market. So Fire didn't see it right away. And here comes the transport. But yeah, listen, if you're the underdog I'm completely fine with you playing out the first game way longer just to get the nerves out of your system. Now, the nerves may never leave your system, but if you haven't been there, you don't fully understand, chat, but just trust me on that. Also, what you don't want is to be in the lobby thinking about what went wrong in game number 1. You want to get it all out of your system. Here comes Fire with the sneak of a lifetime. His units went into a corner. There are TCs from Red, and now Red calls the GG. Okay, well, he didn't actually see the CA, but yeah, super far behind in score, and he got it out of his system. Fire was definitely going to dominate from here. Fire had the middle. Fire played perfect. But here we are on Grapple, game number 2. We've got the underdog Masha from Mexico sailing off here in his transport ship. And he's going to jump out, build the TC. Fire's going to do the same on this side. Game 1 was as easy as you could have asked for from Fire's perspective. That was great. And there's a ring of sheep around the shoreline. So if they're prepared, they should be collecting the sheep. And you use those sheep to scout around the map. And then eventually we'll probably see the players dock. And then they will, once they dock, add fishing ships and then take it from there. Could easily see water contest here. Japanese and Malians both really good at that. And there will be fishing ships to kill. But I don't like to see too much water investment on this map. Red was very unlucky, by the way. Red missed this pig somehow. Red missed this one. Fire might come over and find those. But yeah, I think if you make too many ships on this map and you're late to Castle Age, I don't know if it's worth it. There's so many areas to get resources here. There's 50,000 gold, 15,000 stone. Like, that's funny from Fire. He actually garrisons the pigs. Red's going to do the same thing over here. And it's smart. It's such a fun little aspect of the map. And I think what's most valuable about this is not even the food, just passing. It's just the scouting. That's why on a lot of maps we intentionally made it so players would immediately find some sheep. Because you don't have a scout on Nomad maps. So, 4 pigs. Well, I guess 3 sheep and a pig there for Red. And Fire's got his 3 little pigs. And they're going to come home. Fire with a dock in the middle. He TC'd on the wood line. And Masha will do the exact same. And we'll see exactly how they play it. Previous game, they both went water. But previous game, there was a lot more benefit to having the water because there's lots of stone and gold in the middle and you were controlling the river. Here, there's just like a... The only benefit to this middle area was if this would be a community game and you wanted to go Wonder Victory. But there's no Wonder Victory here, so... This is kind of meant to be our boomy late game map. Like, for players who prefer those settings, let's say arena players. This is the arena of Wandering Warriors Cup. It's not actually arena, of course. It's way different than that, but... And then we have other maps which are super aggressive and really active early on. We obviously wanted a good mix here, so... For Fission, thanks for the 9 months. Thanks for the content. Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. Lord Dragon, thank you. El Fang, thank you. Would you guys be completely disappointed if I were to step away for a minute to just go get a drink? They're just chilling out, scouting around with sheep. Fire's bringing in a boar here. Immensely disappointed. You'd be devastated, really. Okay, well, prepare to be devastated. Do we want to follow a sheep, or do we just want to hover? Fire may use this transport ship to block fish. That might be the only thing we miss. Let's follow Red Sheep. I can make it back before Feudal Age. If I don't make it back before Feudal Age, I'll gift some subs. I'll be right back. Hold on, not that sheep. Let's follow Red's transport. That's good. Okay, I'm back. Why does the view count always go up when I leave? Are you guys watching on PC and pulling it up on your phone as well to add to the view count or something. This has to be some type of an effort from chat to troll me. We also got 2 subs. Steinbeck says he better hurry back before we find out we prefer this. And Yo Man subbed with 40 months. I mean, thanks, I guess. Feudal Age is on the way here for Fire. So I was thinking, as I was taking my break, I was thinking about how I would want to play this. And I think double dock is still fine if you want to do it. But both civs should be really good at immediately going barracks archer range and archers. And what a game that I saw that I loved so much, I don't know if he's watching right now, but it was the Timo Cloud series. Timo, who was seed 65, okay? He went 2 docks, so let's say he makes a second dock here, and then that Vil starts to outpost, and then he found the opponent's base, he built a little side base, made some sneak armies, so it was just 2 things for the opponent to have to worry about. Red's build is like... Red's build does not seem very well practiced. Because... I mean, it's not a good uptime. And he's going to try 3 docks on water. Alright, well... If Fire is up against Japanese, Fire is not going to really kill the fish that quickly. This could still be fine for Red. Marinus, welcome to the stream. First time here. Thank you. Someone says, this is how Twitch works. Everyone prefers when the streamer is AFK because of anticipation. All right. Okay, I think Red is sneaking. Fire is going scouts, though. Ooh, what direction is the stable going to eject the units? Because if it goes this way, which it probably will, I don't think he will see this. But if it paths this way at all, it will go right past the sneak buildings. Masha's going to be up. Only villagers that are really going to be exposed against scouts would be these gold miners here. Whoa, Red had 90 seconds of TC idle time? What in the world? That's really high. And oh my god, Fire found it! No, it pathed the other way! Oh, hold on, I missed it, guys. It pathed this way! No! Fire's so fortunate. And so he just finds it because of the pathing. And now Fire's going to try and kill the Vil. And Fire's not going to kill the Vil because Red could quick wall like a god. Well played. So Fire going scouts. And then Fire also adding galleys to try and kill the fish. I don't think that'll kill the fish though. Red's got some fires coming out. Someone in chat just called the GG. Don't call the GG. He didn't... Nothing died yet. Don't pull an Ezio, all right? I feel a little bad for saying that, but also I don't because what we saw earlier today was just a little frustrating. Spear Archer could be really good against what Fire has. There will be no spears available at home for Red, but he doesn't necessarily need it. He could wall in his gold. Everything else is really close to the TC here, so... And Fire's going to be working hard to try and compete here on water still. Fire still hasn't lost any fishing ships either, though. But yeah, I just don't love scout opening on this map. As weird as it sounds, right? Because the scouting is actually really valuable. But I would almost prefer just add the scout for vision. And then leave it at that. And Fire's going to start to lose his fish. Fire hasn't killed a single unit. The underdog. 5-0 KD. Probably going to be 8-0 KD. Villagers on gold, walled in. Villagers on shorefish will be exposed. Maybe some spearmen need to go home. Fire's adding skirms in defense. Masha has found them, and Masha with the score lead. So it's been a weird set so far, guys. It's like one of those sets where it feels like maybe both players are going to have to work their way into it. Like both players have a bit of a better level to show. These are the dangerous sets if you're the favorite. You don't necessarily want that. If Red hangs around, snags a victory here, maybe starts to have better builds, better prepped strats for the future games. Fire did get a Vil snipe there with his scouts a second ago. He's now coming back. And red is, I think he's just simply thinks he's won the water. So he's grouped up his fires. You definitely want to split them up around this dock, because then fire can land a demo. This could be a really nice demo. Fire could kill 3 ships, basically. That's actually perfect. He kills 1. He's going to kill 2. He's going to kill 3 because of that demo in this fire galley. Looking around with archers to find damage. This is something Fire does a really good job at. And he just walls up and plays safe. Fire is a low-risk type of player. And all of a sudden, I'm liking Fire's position again, because he can make some fires to contest the fish. He's got skirms out to defend the archers, and Fire's well on the way to Castle Age. And red just misclicked a boar. Oh, man. Oh, no, dude. Okay, well, the KD is 6-9 for Fire and 2-1 for the boar. Oh, so unfortunate. Earlier, I was kind of happy. I was like, man, it's so good for him to have so many people watching him. For so many people get to learn about this player. Now I'm like, man, I feel bad that I'm watching. I've done that quite a few times before. Because I set waypoints with my army. Like, has anyone here ever set waypoints with their starting scout and accidentally set a waypoint onto the boar in Dark Age? I've done that. And then suddenly I'm like, I don't have a scout. And I'm like, huh? So it does happen. Fire barely has a dock left. Like, this dock is very weak. It would be a great opportunity for a demo for either player. Look at red. He's kind of escaped up against the enemy's dock. And Fire comes in to take out the Fire ship. And he micros the weak scout away. And, oh! Oh, the transport save. Let's go. I completely forgot about the transport ship. Let's go. There he goes. I mean, Fire is... I'd say Fire's weakness is timings in early stages of each age. He doesn't have the best timings with early aggression. But if you don't bring that aggression to him, he's super smooth with the eco transitions. He's a boomer. And that's what he's going for here. Red, eco management, not really set up to go for the best of booms. Still does have the transport around, still kind of being annoying. And Fire's going to snag the War Galley upgrade. Can someone tell me who the winner of this series would potentially face in the second round? Should be some pretty big names, right? I'm kind of curious. I know what some of the others are. This will still probably go late. I really like Japanese against Malians because Malians struggle against Halb Cav Archer, and Japanese are maybe the best civilization at Halb Cav Archer. I guess you could say Magyars is maybe better there a little bit because maybe you prefer their CA, but what do Malians do against mass CA? They can't really rely on skirms. If they go camels, then they run into Halbs, then it's a problem, so. Okay, so Cosmonaut is waiting for the winner of this one. Okay. Oh, the archers are getting value. Really nice job here from Red. This is going to make him feel a bit better about things. And he's going to be making Cav Archers at home. Fire already making Cav Archers as well. Malian Cav Archers are not very good long-term, but they're fine for Castle Age. Someone asked earlier when the second round is, and it technically is like, I think, is it technically tomorrow, our base? Look at these archers go. That's got to be frustrating for Fire. Basically, the second round starts tomorrow and is all this upcoming week, and then the following week is round of 32, and then the following week is the round of 16 up to the finals. So this tournament ends on December 8th. Fire trying to break in. But yeah, there's no break period. It just always happening, so. I mean, some of my favorite sets in the tournament might end up being in the second round. I have my eyes on that Ganji Licks second round matchup. I'm going to schedule my whole life around that one. If I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to cast that, I will. Should be sick. Will you stream on the 31st of December? I don't know if my fiance would love that. I think she'd prefer I kiss her and, you know, celebrate New Year's instead of talk about Age of Empires another day in my life. I actually have no clue what the plan is, though, so maybe I'll do a New Year's stream. I don't know. Unless you guys, like... Never mind. No, I really don't know. I know early January I'm going to be streaming a lot, so... She's got a conference on, like, the 2nd of January. She's gone for 4 days, and I'm already... This is not to imply that I don't... Like, I'm not no-lifing Age of Empires when she's home. But it's going to be my 10-year channel anniversary on January 5th, so I'm thinking it might be a good day to do a really fun stream. Wow, Masha's just... He's been very bold with his army movement here. And Fire... He does have some CA out, but he hasn't really been able to do much with them. So, considering it's Japanese, as I said before, I think their Cav Archers are superior. I mean, even now, Cav Archer v Cav Archer, Japanese do additional +2 bonus damage. Fire doesn't have Horse Collar. Fire doesn't have Wheelbarrow. Fire's got, like, 4 on food. Fire's position is definitely just awkward. Like, I haven't seen this... It hasn't felt like 27 seed from Fire, honestly. It's felt a little shaky. But it's a little shaky, and he just got a big lead in the first game. 3 TCs for Red. Production's pretty good. Gains the score lead. He might get trapped down here, but yeah. Memento says, I'm watching T90 stream. My 8-week-old son is sleeping on my chest. This is nice. Hey, congratulations. Should I start to, like, say things that affect his life? Like, you know, maybe it'll be deeply implanted into his brain for the rest of his life. Never stop producing villagers. Always get your wood upgrade. Never complain about the map. It's always the player. Please move out by the age of 20. And do not live in your dad's basement until you're 35. How am I doing? Am I doing good? Or are you kind of okay with the last scenario? Cav Archers kind of escape here. And Red has Ballistics, Fire does not. But it still feels like Fire's taking a decent fight. I take it back. Guys, this game is going late. 71 eco for Fire. He does have the villager lead, but military's going to be more of an issue. He does have water control in the middle, but it's not huge water control. Red's actually fish trapping here, so. Love it, but I don't have a basement. Ah, okay. Sorry. Should have known. Don't trickle treb. Subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. Oh, man. We're just raising the next generation right. Storm Sniper, thanks for the 41 months. Taco Burrito, thanks for the 3. He says New Year's stream, please. I might. We'll see. Like I said, I have no clue. Typically, we do stuff with friends on New Year's, though. So, I love you guys, but if there's stuff happening, I haven't seen my friends in a bit. So, it would be a good time to hang out. Wild to me that Red fish trapped when he had no water control. Again, it's just been kind of a bit of a lazy series. Feels very weird to commit to that when your opponent still has the ships out. Maybe just didn't expect that. And Fire's got enough Navy to continue to harass there. But I'm wondering what Fire's going to make. Res Collected is really good for Fire. Eco upgrades are much better than it was before for Fire. I would go Camel with Malians and hope to kill the CA before Halp came out. That would be what I would try and aim for here. Fire also positioning his ships and his Scorpions, all his buildings perfectly to stop Red from coming in. The wall here is really good. And I'm loving the outposting from Fire on the right. Yeah, so the CA are basically not accomplishing anything right now for Red. Yeah, like, I fully understand not upgrading Navy, not making more on water if you're Masha. But the fishing and the fish trap, when you haven't completely won the water, feels a little bit out of place. But it's probably just didn't realize Fire committed as much as he did back into the game. All right, I've been meaning to bring this up today. So, because it's been advertised around every corner, I obviously knew that yesterday was this, like, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, right? But I never in a million years was ever going to watch that. Because I always knew what it was going to be. It was going to be a waste of everyone's time. And so, I figured that a lot of people would be like that. And when I woke up today, or just like went on social media and whatnot last night and today, it was baffling how many people were talking about it and complaining about it. Baffling. Did you guys watch? Like, is anyone else in the same boat as me? I cannot believe it. It's like they're both just going to make a ton of money and the fight's not going to be real. It's a 58-year-old man fighting. He hasn't fought in like 20 years. Like, I was just like, what? So, normally I would say I'm not trying to judge you if you watch whatever. But I'm absolutely judging whoever did. I'm mind blown. It actually brings me so much confidence that we could have so many more people watch Age of Empires events. Because if that many people watch that, imagine what we could do with a little bit of fake hype and fake drama in Age of Empires 2. We've got some real chances to keep growing, so. But yeah, someone in my chat just asked me I watched. No way, dude. Like, I have no interest. And I like to watch fighting, by the way. It's not that I'm not a fighting fan. Someone says I had hope for Tyson. Guess I'm dumb. It's literally one guy intentionally makes himself come off as an absolute, like, kind of a personality that people don't like. Right? It's classic. So people hope the person they don't like will lose so they can feel good. And so, like, 90% of the people who watch just want one guy to lose when he was never going to lose in the first place. And it's all agreed behind the scenes how it's probably going to go. Yeah, I didn't watch it, so maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a really competitive fight. It looked real, but everyone was like, it felt like a waste of my time. And I just kind of thought, well, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be from the start. I don't know if it's forced. The guy's an actual douche. Well, even still, like, it works in his favor because it's just how it goes. So yeah, I was blown away by that. I'm really curious though to see how many people watched it. I hope Netflix comes out with the numbers. Man, of all the tournament VODs, all the Loey the Legend videos that are out, and that people watch that instead. I mean, what's going on? Fire, by the way, pretty big lead. Big question marks here on if he's got the Civ to get the job done if he doesn't kill fast here. Beautiful job from Masha. Look at that. Walling that off. That could have been a nightmare because Fire's going to try and play the raiding game here. Cav Archer numbers need to get higher for Red. Does have the 2 relics. Does have some outposts out for the right-hand side. So right-hand side still something to contest. Fire is placing a castle to go for Trebs, but Red sees that. But Red needs more Cav Archers. Red only has 9 Cav Archers. He lost a lot here in Castle Age. Still missing a lot of upgrades, too. Struggling to manage everything right now as Red, but he builds even a second castle. Ken Hawking says they came out with numbers. It was 120 million from what I heard. If we can't get 10% of that in Age of Empires, we are completely clueless. I mean this. Like, sure, it's an old game, right? The graphics can't compete with other games. Sure, it's gaming, but dude, actually motivating for me. Double Trebuchet coming from Masha. And Fire just has 1 Trebuchet coming out. He's going for the final armor, which could help if diving in beyond castles and whatnot. So he's going to try and distract. And Red is a little late to the house there. See, this is all Fire wants. It's a throwaway unit, like Cav. Oh, nice quick walls. But this is still good for Fire because his next wave of light cap... Wow, crazy quick walls. The next wave of light cap can snipe the Trebs. Look at the idle time. TC's garrison, 15 vills not working. 10 villagers pulled the quick wall. Light cap make it through anyways. Yeah, this is a really, really awkward situation for Red. And then Fire just snipes the Trebs. Yeah, just textbook. Like, I think Red does know exactly what Fire's trying to do here, but he still has to respect this. And now Fire will come this way with light cap, drop a castle. Fire's just going full map control. And now, because that one group of light cap got into the back, Fire's taken out a castle. Crucial, crucial, crucial. Do Dave and I need to come up with a fake beef? Like they knew each other for 10 years. But then suddenly, they turned on each other. Dun, dun, dun. And it shows like all the good times we had, all the tournaments, all the laughter, all the finals. And then we box. Is that... Do we need to come up with some fake drama to break records? Cannon Galleon from Masha. Kind of back to what I'd said before. I don't think he has the water dominated yet. So Cannon Galleon may be a little preemptive, but he did bring his own fires over. Fire v Fire against Fire here. Cannon Galleons could be great on this map, though. That's really important. Fire's light cap still just making it so awkward for Red. Red has to react here, dropping a castle. Fire sees that castle. He can make Trebs. Fire swings his Trebs over this way to take the next castle from Red. And Red's just like, got so many different areas to look at right now. And Fire's eco is completely untouched. What would be the reason for the beef? Oh, Dave and I could come up. Dave and I could come up with a fake beef. We could make it happen. We don't really have any actual beef. As far as I'm aware of. Not a beef that I've been filled in on. I mean, Dave's a pretty understandable guy, and we're both too old for drama. So we just, even if there's a misunderstanding, you just try and be a reasonable person and understand the other person's side of it, and then you're all good. Easier said than done. But yeah, I mean, if that's what it takes to get 1 million views, maybe we just sell out like that. Fire has Farimba 7+7 attack, and even that is still taking good engagements against the CA. And Fire just seems all that experience and all the time he had to chill in Castle Age. Just he's pulling Red apart. Red's army's never in the right position because there's a new group of light cav everywhere, and every single Treb goes down for Red. I've never seen Red over 20 cav archers. He's really struggled to get there because Fire's always hitting him at the right times. Red's not out of the game yet, by the way. Like, Red Halb CA is still really good long term, and there's lots of stone and gold for him to take still. And Red is building a castle directly underneath Fire's Trebs. What is happening? So Fire is almost a little bit taken back by this. This is a bold move. Castle dropping the opponent's Trebs. Fire's backing up with his Trebs now. And he's like... It's almost so crazy that Fire can't believe it. He's like, is this good for me? I think it's good for me, but it might be bad for me, because why would he do that? All right. Well, it does save the other castle for Red. There is still that Treb back there from Red. Over here. Hold on. Fire might lose this Treb. He is making a cannon, but that might be too late. Yeah, but Red's castle here goes down, and Red just never had control of this game. The Dark Age was a little bit off. 90 seconds of TC idle time was really high for a map that has a lot of food. Castle Age, it looked like there was potential, but Fire was just... Again, like, it was a little lazy from Fire, but he had such good economy, and he defended enough, and then it was just cruise control in early Castle Age, the light cav raids. It's just textbook. You use the raid to pull the enemy's strong army out of position, and then you win the Treb war because they can't protect their own trebuchets. And it didn't matter that maybe Japanese have greater late game tech because we never really got there because of Fire's raids. Great resource control from Fire. Looking pretty comfortable for Fire now. All right. Red is town centering so much further away from the boars. I've never seen this. Typically, you town center as close to the middle as possible, but still in a wood line. So he is town centering over here, which is very nice, comfortable little spot. But you do also have to walk so much further to get the boars. Fire is going to TC right on the wood line, like we said, because you're close to get the boars. That's the thing on this map. You start with horses here. Berber villagers are faster. But I'm kind of getting the impression that Masha didn't really look at the maps or practice at all. Are you looking for boars back here, bro? Right, what? You gonna build a Okay, I just don't think he knows. This is either a next level strat to just give up the meat in the middle, or he just doesn't know what he got himself into. He has no clue what this is right now. Like, I just don't understand. You would have to never see the map ever. Okay, here he comes now. Here he comes. But then he's not going to have boars, villagers underneath the TC to kill the boar. This is just... Let's see. Let's have faith. All right. Well, he didn't get that one because Fire took it. And now he realizes Fire took it. He might try and block. This is what you expect on this map, the blockage. Okay. Now, Fire's TC is right on the edge. Red is still trying to block. Fire knows this. And Red, don't lose your horse. Red just lost his horse. And now he's going to kill the boars, but all of his deer villagers have to come back. All right, well, there's players who really prepare, and for Red, he probably didn't expect to accomplish much. So he probably didn't prepare too much, which is fair. This is another rough one. Great opportunity to segue into this. Guys, you're learning a lot right now about what to do and what not to do on this map. If you would like to use your new knowledge, we are running a community tournament. The signups close in 4 or 5 days. We use all these maps. You play against people at your elo. We have the WWC2 command if you want to check it out, all right? And you can, when you play Mired, you can remember this game on kind of what not to do. Watch Red win the game and then somehow gain tons of confidence and maybe be prepped for the other maps and then win the series here. Could happen. But I really don't think he knew what he was getting himself into here. And now he's adapting to it. And he's going to get 4 boars. That's pretty sick. All right. Here we go. Bringing in the meat. Not bad. All right. I mean, the positive here is he's got a cute little spot to wall up in. He can wall here. He can wall here. Fire's not going to kill him easily. But Fire will have gotten 6 boars. And Fire is up by 3 vills because Fire didn't get loom. Fire started with an extra vill. And Fire had no TC idle time. So Fire is just so far ahead. I hear an animal. And Fire... Oh, he does have loom. Sorry. Fire's just walling up as well. Could honestly be a fast castle from Fire. Fire must be really confused. I mean, to not see the TC close to the middle is definitely something that should be jarring for him. Fire doesn't have the easiest wall off, but it would be doable. He's already walling this area. Could always wall this way. And now Red's got a vill over here. It's like right when I'm no longer confused, I get even more confused. Is he trying to sneak back here? Sneaking with the meat. Fire solid. Fire solid. I will give Red a lot of respect for this because I'm sure he realizes, oh crap, this is so bad. So unlike the first game and the second game, he's actually trying something wacky. But Fire knows he's back here. Fire's like, huh? And the barracks was up against the edge. I'm actually so sad for him that he got spotted. Okay, quick wall, but Fire can block with the horse. This is going to be tough. Villager is slightly faster because of the Berber speed bonus. Fire still blocking. Fire going to have an even bigger lead if he kills this. And if he didn't have the horse, I think the Vil could do something, but here I just don't see how. Fire's too good to let this happen here. Boxing gloves are out. Masha trying his best. Villager's looking jacked, but won't fight back. And yep, that Vil's going to die. Well played from Fire. This would be an embarrassing one to let that Villager waddle right through your base. And Fire also seems to be going for a fast castle, which was my thinking, because he's had a lot of Vils here. And Vil's dead. Better fight than Jake versus Tyson right there. Well, farms now for the player who didn't have as many boars. Never ended up taking his final deer. He can't actually click up. He does have deer down here. He is walled this way. But Fire is, well, he's got the berries. He's got the deer. Fire is going to make his way to Castle Age, and Fire is going to be completely walled. Looking pretty good for Fire here. So I've had more critical casts before where I have critiqued people and said, why don't you train? Like, why don't you know what you're hopping into? So I think on a different day, I would have come at it with that attitude. But also at the same time, for many people, if they see, like if they sign up and they see they're up against the top 30 guy, they might feel like, well, why even train? Having said that, a lot of people, like a lot of underdogs, are not like that. So Seed 101 beat Seed 28. Freaking Eli won 3-1 against Stark, who, you know, is also a Brazilian player who's right around Fire Seed. But I can understand both sides of it. It also does depend on what life is like for you. I don't know these people. Are they in school? Do they have families? How much time do they really have? I don't know. Always try and remember the perspective because I am full-time AoE. But I'm also like full-time AoE combined with AoE is always up in my house even if I'm not working or playing. It's a different level. So I try and remember. This guy might just play some ranked games every now and then. Decided to sign up and said, sky's the limit here. If I lose, I lose. Let's give it a shot. But this is definitely an example of clearly, like, I don't think he's watched a single game on Mired. Or maybe he thought with Berbers he could still get the boars. I don't know. The mill at the start was just clearly a sign of not completely there. So he's going to make it to Feudal Age at the 16-minute mark. He won't have the resources to go Castle Age, and Fire is going to be in Castle Age in 2 minutes. Score says, were you close to qualifying to this tournament, or didn't you even try to? I would have been around 70-something seed if I signed up, but I can't play in tournaments that I host. Those are Microsoft rules. So any tournament that, if Microsoft gives anyone money for a tournament, then they're not allowed to play in that same tournament. I might have played. I mean, the first round has been crazy because the 45 through 85 matchups have been super good. We've had a lot of 3-2s. We've had a lot of crazy games. Where you're not going to see the matchups be as close is when you have the 100+ seeds versus the 30 and below. The exception was Eli versus Stark. But Eli's a crazy one. So of the 128 players in this event, Eli's one of maybe like 5 who, if he had it his way, would play Nomad every single game. Like, sure, Yo is really good on Nomad. A lot of the Chinese players are good on Nomad, but they would still play Arabia a lot, right? Eli's like a super Nomad nerd. And Eli's elo probably could be higher if he played ranked a lot, but he doesn't play ranked a lot. So I had my eye on him. He's a USA guy, and I was pumped to see how he would do. I thought that realistically, his seed probably should have been around like 60 or 70 just based on Nomad skill alone. But there's no Nomad ladder. There's no way to quantify that, so. Beating Stark is nuts, though. And he played really good. So here's Red. He's nice and walled up. His opponent's in Castle Age. He's going to stone wall, house wall, outpost. He's kind of done the right things. Everything's double layered. He does not know that Fire is about to siege push his TC. Seems like he wants to try and go Camel Archers. Finds out, loses a Vil, can simply pull the Vils away and go to the lumber camp. And we'll see if he can get to Camel Archers here. I mean, imagine, this has been so rough. This could be the start of the comeback. If he can get Camel Archers out, win this game, maybe we will witness something special here. Camel Archers are really strong. So if there was a unit, Camel Archer would certainly be it. But now the castle's going to be neat. You really have to think twice about where you place the castle because of Fire's positioning. By the way, remember the situation yesterday with Lighty and Cosmonaut? I explained how even, like, the castle's always going to go up in this scenario, but you want the siege to be instant. So you affect the castle spot and you make the opponent make mistakes. This is a mistake. That Mangonel will range villagers. That's a problem. Fire needs to just roll in there. And Red needs to pull the Vils. Well, actually, that's fine. But your other option was maybe right next to the TC. I actually would have preferred that because then you keep the TC up and you protect the gold a bit more. Fire's going 3 TCs. Like, Fire is always finding his way to 3 TCs regardless. So he sees this. And he knows he's got a massive lead here. He's like, fine, go ahead. Get your Camel Archers. I'll just switch sides. Start to pressure this area. But everything that Red has done from the 6-minute mark has been great. Except for maybe sneaking the Vil, but that's a risk you take. It's just the starting build was just not good at all. It's like, I just don't think he really understood the map. Still been fun, though, to have so many people here see all the different maps. Have you guys liked the map pool so far? I think the map pool has actually surpassed my expectations. I think the, like, Inundation has produced some stellar games. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Mired always produced good games, so I wasn't too worried about this. We've got to pause right now. Houseboats always produce stellar games. Stranded, I was kind of concerned about. Wasn't sure how good Stranded would look. Stranded's looked really good too, so. Okay, apparently Dragonstar's opponent didn't show for their scheduled time, so Dragonstar got an admin win. Wow. Okay, so Dragonstar on to round 2. Has been disappointing, I guess, out of 64 sets to only have 5 admin wins is actually pretty much average. But it's always a bummer to have people schedule a series and then just not show up. Yesterday, for Beery, he did message me and say, so sorry, I took a nap after work and I didn't wake up. We had another player say they had time zones that changed, I guess, so he got confused. So that was, you know, as long as someone gives me a bit of an explanation, I feel a little bit better about it. Yes. Fire 3 town centers, likely to win this series. Our base, what's the schedule look like? When's our next series start? I have another 2.5 hours I can be on. I would love to cast another series. I think we have 2 more today. But the start times are interesting. I think Okay, Dogao and Boy Wonders in 15 minutes, and then is PLP and Rapard in an hour and 15? Okay, so that's a series that is going to be really good. Might not be able to get to that one. TC's still in jeopardy here. So this... Red was thinking he would try and counterattack first, because Fire's expecting him here. But the counterattack's not going to do much. Because Fire just had all the time in the world to wall up, expecting that. Bicep Poker, you did miss the U-Pudding series. The series was a bit underwhelming. I thought it could be more competitive. If you're going to watch that, I would suggest watching game number 2. It was a really fun game. Yeah, I mean, obviously 102nd seed is not on the level of a 28 seed in terms of what they've done and accomplished, Bogus. But it's also the preparation at the same time. I think, like, Red... You could tell when someone's played the maps and played a set or two and got a feel before they play and when they don't. And in Red's case, I don't think he really trains too much. Because, again, my boy Eli, 101 seed versus 28 seed, he was looking good. Now, actually, what's kind of funny is because I was so hyped when Eli won, so this shows that he knows me. So he beats Stark, right? I immediately blow up his Discord. Let's go! Rah, 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 all caps. He's like, thanks. I ask him, I'm like grilling him. Can't even let him enjoy his moment. I'm like, did you test that TC area in game 4? Because it was piece of pizza. And he paused for a second. And then he's like, you're going to hate me, but I did 0 prep. And he's right. Normally, I'm like, you didn't prepare. You know, I'm like, I want people to prepare. But true Nomad guys just kind of go with the flow. And that's what he is. So he went with the flow and he beat Stark. And I know Stark practiced. Like, Stark played at least one practice set based on what I've heard. So it's not like Stark just kind of came in unprepared too. Fire still just trying to pester where he can. I think from here, like, it's a weird game because Fire can't really easily break Red. So he really just needs to play it towards Imp. But this... I'm still waiting to see anything from Red that makes me think he's got a chance in this. His eco's just so far behind. And he does kill the Mangonel here. Fire will probably go defensive castle and then plan around Eagles and Imp would be my guess. Could always go plumed archers as well. Arbase says he's practiced a lot for the community tournament. All right, chat, should I cast Arbase when the community tournament happens? So we could see how much he's practiced. Ooh, Fire with the gate. Oh, Fire with the... Okay, well, the Deadville. All right, we'll make sure we pay attention to Arbase. Because now Arbase is also admined the main event. So we have extra reason to be like, what are you doing? I'm just kidding. What elo is Arbase? I think he's like 1,500, 1,400, 1,600, somewhere in there. Arbase could tell you. 1699. Notice how he said his highest possible elo. He didn't just average. 1699. Wait, so are you currently 1699? And one win away from 1700? Or is that, did you get to 1699 multiple times and then lose that game to take you to 1700? It's my current elo. Oh, dude, the pressure. I've been there. I've been in that same situation where you're one win away from that next threshold, and it adds that pressure even to a ranked game. So yeah, he didn't round up to 1700. That's true. Respect. So I was 2399 and I was 30 Vil lead, 5 relics. Game was absolutely won. My opponent, we won't name names, would not resign because he's stubborn. And the game out of synced. And nobody got points. That was the first time that happened to me. And then it took me another, like, 9 months to hit 2,400. So it was, I've been in that scenario before. Oh my God! The camel archers, where are they? They're all dead. That was horrible. Oh man, fire with a dream scenario. I mean, he's imping. He's got a nice Vil lead here. And Masha says, GG, I confused the map by miniature 11. GG, well played. Okay, so he says he was confused. That makes sense. What does that mean? I confused the map by miniature 11. Did he look at the super tiny version of this? By mini map? Was he thinking it was the smallest ever mired? Oh. It means he looked at the mini map on the draft and got confused. So he, like, bottom right, he looked at that and thought it was another map. Okay. Well, yeah, I think he just wasn't fully prepared. He didn't know what map he was getting into, and then he realized, and then he was kind of screwed. So pretty much on par with what we thought. Just wasn't fully prepared there, so...